This past October, we returned to one of our favorite fisheries anywhere, Cabotogama Lake in northern Minnesota. Cab is just a wonderful place to be, and the smallmouth action that we experienced on Cab that day in October was perhaps the best smallmouth bite I've ever been on. But when you're on Cab, you want to at least see if the walleyes are biting. After Tim Snyder, Mike Frisch, and I caught our fill of smallmouth, we moved to a walleye spot.
Ooh, he feels pretty good, you know it? I mean, he feels really good. Whoa, I'm liking him more all the time. I'm not sure that's a walleye. I don't know if it's a walleye. I hope it is, I really hope it is, but...
I'll bet that's a walleye.
Is it?
Where is that? No, that's a walleye. That's a nice walleye, Bob. Yeah, there you go.
Boy,
Huh?
you know, I thought he was bigger than that. Well, nothing wrong with that.
He's not so...
Yeah, no. I thought he felt big. He's fat.
He is fat.
Look at
Look
that.
at it.
Look how fat he is. How deep was he, Mike?
He was in about 32 feet.
He was down there a ways. Wow, look how fat he is. These smallmouth and walleyes, just this time of the year, they get fat, don't they?
Yeah, they really load up.
Huh.
Give
Good.
you all that you want on a fight too, don't they?
Very nice, yep.
Nice walleye. Next it was Tim's turn.
Boy, you know, it's interesting. We were out cruising the area a little bit, saw the fish in the sonar, and it happens all the time, doesn't it? You drop it on them, and they bite. So we put the marker buoy right there.
Hopefully he doesn't hook the marker.
I know,
buoy.
that's, here he is right here, you see him?
I don't see him yet.
Nice one. Oh boy.
Oh, good job, Tim.
Nice one. Look at that
Good
guy.
work. They're fatties, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're really fat, hefty fish.
So, this time of the year, Tim, we're out in 35 feet. Typical out here. Yep. Typical lots of places in the fall.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that belly on that guy.
On that girl.
Yep. Whew. Nice.
Jig and minnow, Tim?
Yeah, jig and minnow, 35 feet, just dragging along that bottom, Bob, and I'll tell you something, she couldn't stand it. There you go, girl.
It was a calm, overcast afternoon. The fish were deep, 27 to 35 feet, quarter-ounce fireball jigs tipped with larger minnows, about 4 inches. P-Line Tactical or CXX in 6 or 8 pound test allows an invisible presentation, but also provides so much sensitivity. Here we go again.
Yep.
Fish.
Oh,
That guy was in 35 feet of water. He was down there a ways. And he feels good. Look at him shake that rod. Look at him. Whoa. You see, this is that last one did, and I just thought he was something other than a walleye. Wow. Look at that. Huh. Just, what a nice walleye. Huh. Now, what's the deal here, Tim? There's a slot limit?
yeah, there is a slot limit on Cabotogama. Currently it's 17 to 28. Must be throwing back. You can keep one over 28. But anything under 17 you can keep.
Yep, yep. And it's such simple fishing right here when they're deep. You look at the depth finder, you see them, you drop that jig on them, and they eat it. They just can't help themselves, can they? Fat, long, and good, and...
I was just going to ask you, Tim,
What's that?
about what we're fishing here.
It's a structure fishing. I'll tell you what, we came off of some deep water up on this little structure right here. And
Bob, you want to grab the net there?
marked your, on your GPS, we marked a bunch of fish in, what, 35 feet, I think?
Yep.
Threw a little marker buoy out, which is kind of nice to do. And started popping these nice walleyes right here.
Are you guys trying to tell me I should switch to a jig?
Tell you what, not right now, not until I'm done.
Not until you guys are done?
Yeah. Here's a beautiful
Oh, look at that.
eater-sized walleye
Yep.
right here.
Is that an eater?
That's an eater.
That's
right
an eater,
there.
yep.
Yeah. I tell you what, Bob. This is what is really indicative of Cabotogama walleyes. They are beautiful eaters. We'll have a lot of nice big ones also to eat, but this right here is going to taste unbelievable in a fry pan on one of these shorelines, I'll tell you. That is a nice 16 and a half inch walleye right there.
You know, I've been coming up here a lot of years, Tim, and the ratio to eaters to big ones is really good, isn't it?
You're right, Bob. This is, there's a good ratio of small fish, big fish, and these eaters right here, right in the middle. And I'll tell you, this is gonna taste good on a shore lunch, maybe next year.
So Tim, we're fishing deep structure, and when I fish deep structure back home in central Minnesota this time of the year in the fall, I just cruise these likely areas, humps, the tips of points, keeping an eye on my depth finder looking for fish, and when I find them, I go back through them and fish for them. Is that what you do?
It's exactly what we do, Mike. It's very similar to central Minnesota. We're up here in the northern area where we have a lot of, it's a glacial area where there's a lot of humps and reefs, points coming off these islands. So what we like to do is just like you. We come up in there nice and slow, and when we mark these fish, we throw a buoy out on them.
Those Ray Marine units do such a good job of showing the underwater world and the fish, and Ray Marine makes a unit to fit anyone's needs.
Looks like a nice fish.
Look,
Oh,
northern
just like
pike.
I thought. Big one on it.
Yep.
I kind of thought it was. The way it
Nothing
acted,
wrong with
took a
that.
little run. You get a lot of northern pike, and we got a very nice, large population of northern pike. Husky, good fish.
Fishing the Midwest is made possible by Larson FX Series, the boat that catches it all. Salmo, insist on Salmo. Big Stone Lake Tourism, the Midwest's new winter hotspot. Offshore Tackle, the leader in trolling technology.
Here's outstanding fishing advice from some very successful anglers.
I insist on Salmo.
Insist on Salmo.
I insist on Salmo.
Insist on Salmo.
Insist on Salmo at Cabela's.
P-Line, premium fishing lines for all fish species during all seasons. High-performance copolymers built to handle a wide range of fishing situations. Fluorocarbon-coated lines that are sensitive and invisible like a fluorocarbon, yet with the manageability of mono. Super strong Teflon-coated braids for ultra-long casts and extreme sensitivity, and premium fluorocarbons, including the all-new award-winning Tactical. P-Line, a line for all fish species during all seasons.
A boat ride on the water, a concert in the shadow of legends, a day of fishing on one of the premier fisheries in the Midwest. These are just a few of the wonderful attractions Clear Lake has to offer. Nestled in northern Iowa, Clear Lake is known for its beautiful scenic landscapes, top-rated beaches, and yearly events. From the annual Winter Dance Party to the blockbuster 4th of July celebration, Clear Lake has something for everyone. Stay at the shore and explore.
68, 69, 70 bucks. Get them hitting without taking a hit. Cabela's Depth Master Combo. Great price. Lifetime guarantee. That's practical.
Impulse Soft Plastics. 143% more effective than the competition.
And the best alternative to live bait.
Unique colors, actions, scents.
Impulse soft plastics catch more fish, period.
Waterproof. Windproof. And for 130 bucks, weatherman proof. Cabela's Rainy River Parka. Great price. Lifetime guarantee. That's practical.
A front came through the next morning. We only had an hour or so to fish, but the fish were still willing to bite.
Like a nice fish.
A little more size there.
Yeah.
Biggest one of the day.
Yeah, feels like a good fish.
Yeah, here he comes.
Oh, look at that old girl.
Look at there. You know, we've had a few hit and spit this morning, you know, and that's pretty typical of this sort of conditions, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the weather change makes a little bit difference on the pattern of these fish, and this is a really, really nice walleye here.
Yeah, he had the whole thing. I mean, he ate that whole jig and minnow and the whole deal.
Yeah, there's a little short biting, and I'll tell you something. I just doing a little quick snap jig on this, Bob, and just a little short snap jigs on it, and then she couldn't stand it. But that is a nice, fat, healthy walleye on a cold front morning, isn't it?
I've been using the new Cabela's Arachnid series of bait casting rods and reels, and I've been really impressed. I use them a bunch for my bass fishing, and what I love about the Arachnid reels is they have a bunch of features which allow me to flip, pitch, and cast baits a long way. And then the Arachnid rod, well, it's got super technology. And what that means is this rod blank remains rigid when you're casting and retrieving, and it's very sensitive. However, when you hook a fish, it becomes more flexible. It has great shock absorption. That helps you land a fighting fish. Great technology, sensitive, lightweight. The Cabela's Arachnid series of bait casting rods and reels, they've made me a better fisherman.
Cabela's has all the good stuff, and the people that work there can help you select the products that best fit your needs. Now back to the fishing.
You are on with that jig.
They're loving that black and gold jig.
Is there some size there, Tim?
It's just an average size fish, but probably a good eater, Bob.
Yep, right. Tim, you know, the weather has changed considerably from yesterday. And, you know, we started one hump. Not much going on. We pull this hump and we pop a couple just like that. Is that typical? I mean, some humps are just have fish that want to get caught and some don't.
It is. You know, we got a cold front that came through, Bob, and I'll tell you what, you come up to these humps and we've seen some marking in here. We're a little deeper water today. You know, they were a little shallower yesterday. Today they're a little deeper, and so they're a little more lethargic. So we'll put her back.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I missed one, dropped back down, and finally got one to eat it.
Nice, healthy eater right there.
Yep. He would look good in the greased bath.
Yeah, he would.
You know, the other thing that I'm impressed with, Tim, is they're nice, thick, fat fish. You know, they
there's a ton of bait in Lake Abetogoman, so these fish have a lot to choose from.
Yep, wow.
Mike, I noticed you're rigging your line a little bit differently for this deep water. What do you got going there?
I am, Bob. What I'm doing is when I fish deep water, whether it be with a jig or a bottom bulge or whatever, I like to use braid on my main line, and then I'll tie in a mono or a fluorocarbon snell. But I like that braid because in this deep water, it seems like you get a little better hook sets because you don't have as much stretch. So that braid helps. The other thing is you can use a little lighter jig because braid is thinner in diameter, so it cuts the water, so you can get down with the lighter jig.
And braid is more sensitive too. You can feel the fish better and get better hook sets because it doesn't stretch.
Another outstanding trip to an outstanding body of water and area. Cabotogama Lake offers world-class fishing for walleyes, smallmouth bass, northern pike, and crappies, and the scenery is outstanding as well. Put a trip to Cab on your list of things that need to get done.
Hey, for all of us that fish in the Midwest, thanks for stopping by. Be nice to one another. We'll see you again next time.